Alright, much brew about nothing. Seismic Swans in Modern. We got things I like. Alright, we're gonna... Oh, no blue mana, though. Alright, we'll try it. We're one Cascade Bluffs away from Swans mana. And we have Scred, which can kill something of our opponents. Or hit our Swans to draw us a bunch of cards. Well, it looks like it's going to kill a Noble Hierarch. Ooh. Well, Snow-Covered Mountain, Scred your Hierarch, go. Blood Moon is interesting. It means we're going to be even further away from casting Swans, because we're going to need two Oh, God. Well, Eldrazi Temple is bad news. If we were on the play, I would feel better, because we could Blood Moon this turn, but on the draw... Well, there's an island. So we get to leave up Negate. If they can Thought Not See or take Blood Moon, though, we're probably just dead. On the other hand, if they can't do anything too threatening this turn, Island. Well, that gives them actual mana, and potentially Thought Not mana. Gets in a 4-3. Another Matter Reshaper. Well, we're going to need to draw some removals. Also, another island is kind of alright. Alright. I think we got to do this to keep our opponent from doing anything else. Blood Moon. Going to stop the Eldrazi from coming down, and probably anything else. Our opponent's going to be down to just blue and red mana. But they have 6 power on the board. That's a 3-turn clock. Swans is interesting. It does provide a long-term blocker, but it would draw our opponent a ton of cards. And they had a green source. Well, they still can't play Eldrazi, at least. Alright, take our beats. Down to 11. We need, like, bolts, just removal in general. Serum Visions. So he takes 6. Alright, we're going to draw both. Play a Snow-Covered Mountain. Next turn we can play Swans. This is assuming our opponent can't play anything else to kill us. Or counter our Swans somehow. Down to 5. So Island, Swans. The gig is up. So we get to block a Matter Reshaper, but our opponent is going to draw a bunch of cards, which is potentially pretty bad. They're going to get like 4 cards between the Matter Reshaper trigger and dealing damage to the Swans. That's the problem with Swans, is you don't really want to block with it, but we don't really have a choice here. If we don't block with it, we just die. So, alright, opponent. The only good news is they're drawing these cards while they're locked under a Blood Moon. Wow, and they just passed. Okay. And they have to discard. So that was much less bad than I imagined it being. Drowner of Hope. Alright, we draw a Bolt. So let's start by bolting our Swans to draw some cards. And then... Actually, 1, 2, 3. Let's play the Mountain. Anger of the Gods. Get rid of Matter Reshaper. Draw some more cards. And let's just... pass the turn, discard our Dakmor Salvage. Let's not attack. I don't know how they would get, like, if they had Waste in their deck, they could go Waste into Reality Smasher into We Lose. So we want to avoid that. We're not going to do that. We will, however, bolt our Swans to draw some cards. We pretty much are just looking for a Seismic Assault. Well, let's Anger the Gods. Draw some more cards. What do we get? Remands, Islands. Alright, play Snow-Covered Island. Serum Visions. Bottom both. And pass the turn, discard Swans, Swans, Negate, and a Mountain. Ancient Stirrings for our opponent. So once we find our Seismic Assault, we got the combo win. Because we have a Dakmor Salvage in our graveyard. I guess I could start attacking with the Swans at some point. but it's just such a good defender. No dredge. Another Swans. Now, let's Serum Vision, see what's on top of our deck. There's Seismic Assault. So, bottom, Snapcaster, might as well top Cascade Bluffs. Seismic Assault. Discard a land, hit our Swans, dredge back deck, more salvage. Seismic Assault, discard deck, more salvage, get back deck, more salvage. Shuffle our graveyard back in, Seismic Assault. So eventually we're going to draw enough lands. We're drawing one additional land each time we do this. We just discard and get back deck, more salvage. And eventually that means we're going to have enough lands to kill our opponent. That's the combo. We don't have enough yet, I don't think. And we have the trigger on the stack from Kozilek, so our stuff is going to shuffle back in. Actually, alright, let's let this go. Scred our Swans. And now we should be able to just kill our opponent. So, discard an island, discard a land, discard a land, discard a land. Do we have enough lands? We do not. Discard a land. Go back to our combo. Deck more salvage. Get back deck more salvage. Discard deck more salvage. Get back deck more salvage. 1, 2, 3. We need one more land. Alright, there we go. And then mountain, mountain, and a deck more salvage, and a deck more salvage. Sweet! That combo is so ridiculous and janky when it goes off. I love it. So good, so good. So Eldrazi, eh? I think that means we want more Blood Moons. Blood Moon seems really good against them. Otherwise, what do we go down? Maybe Squelch? I don't think our opponent has ways to attack our Swans with damage. One land, Bolt, Angers. I think we got a mulligan since it's only one land. Alright, that's somewhat better. We have a Blood Moon. See how fast our opponent's hand is. If we get a quick Blood Moon, it should be pretty good. Ancient Stirrings for our opponent. Do they have Eldrazi Temples? Reality Smasher. Alright, that's a little ways off. They probably bring encounters of some kind. So Snow-Covered Island, go. I guess Spellskite is sort of a blocker. Plains for our opponent. And passes. Well, Mountain and Spellskite. Pass the turn. So hopefully our opponent just taps out for like a Matter Reshaper, then we slam a Blood Moon with Spellskite defense from, I don't know, something. That means Thought Knot most likely to take Blood Moon. Yep. Aye. Well, come on, Blood Moon number 2. Thought Knot on turn 3 is pretty good. Or Snow-Covered Island. Yikes, and that means Reality Smasher next turn. You can see the difference between play-draw. On the play, we would have had Blood Moon down. Well, double Eldrazi Temple. What is that? So this deck, without Ayavugan, it is super reliant on Eldrazi Temple. So I think we take 1,000,000 here. Oh lord. Another Thought Knot? So what's a good draw? Scred? At this point, Blood Moon isn't even that good. And our opponent somehow overtapped. They just need to tap the 2 temples. Ay, ay, ay. Well, double Thought Knot, double Eldrazi Temple. And we know they have a Reality Smasher in hand. That is the Eldrazi Nut Draw. Alright. That was quite the hand. Alright, we're on the play this time. Hopefully we stick a Blood Moon before they start doing that stuff. Alright, we get to play first. Alright, we got a Serum Visions, a bunch of lands, and we will have the ability to play Seismic Assault. And a Scred, which isn't bad. Serum Visions. Do we want a Bolt? Not really. Because we're most likely... We already have Scred, and we're going to have Seismic Assault. So I don't think Bolt does that much for us. Brushland. Ancient Stirrings. We really want Blood Moon. That's the nut draw. Thought Knot. Well, we know a Thought Knot's going to be coming. Snow-Covered Mountain, go. Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Well, Cascade Bluffs, and Seismic Assault. They actually have a... Oh, they have a counter, too? Oh, Lord. Now we're kind of in trouble. And then Thought Knot. Oh, man. And we draw land. Yeah, we're in trouble. All these lands would be sweet if we had... Oh, double temple again! Well, our opponents just had the best Eldrazi draws possible. I mean, you only got 4 Eldrazi Temples in your deck. And when you draw 2 of them every game, your deck functions really well. When you have 2 of them, it's pretty much the equivalent of still having Ayavugan in the format. Well, I mean, we can play a Swans, but it doesn't do much here. If that Seismic Assault had resolved, we would have just won the game. Pass the turn. Yeah, Seismic Assault. We had the combo. We got the Deckmore Salvage, got the Swans, but they had the negate for Seismic Assault. And they have a path. Yeah, we are pretty dead now. I guess our way to stay alive is like Scred into Scred. Like Scred Thought Knot, draw another Scred, Scred Reality Smasher. Or drawing our last Seismic Assault into Scred. Our opponent's draws have just been pretty above the curve, I think, for modern day Eldrazi. Another Thought Knot. Yeah, we're... Now I don't think we have any outs. What's our out? Scred into Seismic Assault. So we Scred, Thought Knot, Seismic Assault, Reality Smasher. So the odds of that are about 1 in a billion. And that does it. Yeah, those are just good draws for our opponent. Can't do anything about that.